Good morning, David.
Good morning. How you doing?
Excellent. Thank you for asking. You being an LA guy, how much, I know you've been around since UCLA has beaten SC, but, the last couple of years, they've won the 4 games, and those 2 buzzer beaters, I'm sure, were excruciating for you guys. How much do you want to reverse that trend and start a new one in UCLA's favor?
We want to reverse it very much. I mean, coming from LA, the rivalry, it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be a big crowd. I expect a big crowd from USC, and we want to win. We've been heartbroken, far too many times. They just had the better shot at that game, but we want to reverse the trend definitely.
Do you, I know, you got your pregame huddle kind of hype going. Do you script that, and do you know what you're going to say like pregame Saturday? Will you have a special message for the guys?
I don't script it. I feel like the best pregame speeches come from the heart. I never script. I only say our last going out message. That's the only thing that's I repeat. But every game is something different because every opponent is different. I try to engage our team, get us pumped up every game, and to do that you have to have some variety. So I tend not to script it. I tend to read a lot of books like Michael Jordan or Magic Johnson. Watch The Last Dance, something to get my mind going and keep us motivated, depending on the opponent.
And then last thing, have you rewatched either of those buzzer beaters that they've had the last couple of years, or is that something that you kind of consciously turned away from?
No, I watch it. I watch it constantly, especially after the Stanford game. That was probably the first thing that I watched after the Stanford game at 1 a.m. So because I want to remind everyone that since Cronin's been here, we have not beat USC. So we have to come in with our chip on our shoulder. And we have to come in and use that as fuel because we don't want to go through that again, obviously. And they're gonna bring the heat because it's UCLA versus USC. Who wouldn't?
Let's go to Mike Regalado, Bruin Report.
Hey, David. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Good, thank you. In respect to the rivalry, the USC has put up some bulletin board material, claiming that you guys are the other LA school. Do you guys take any? How can I say this? Does that catch your attention, or do you, like you're saying, do you just focus on what happened in game and what changes you have to make based on how you played them before?
It doesn't really catch my attention. They're gonna say what they want to say. Whether we win, lose, or draw, we're just gonna give our effort, play the basketball that we know how to play. All the social media, all the hype, it really doesn't take our attention. All that matters is what happens in between those lines of 94 feet. So they can say what they want. We're just focused on basketball.
We got a quick follow-up from Ben.
Yeah, just following up, you said you rewatched that. Was it the most recent one, both, or kind of set the scene for me? Like, where were you? Was it on your iPad? And then what did it feel like watching it?
Well, coming from Burbank, so I was bored, so I decided to pull up that game. I just decided to watch the most recent game because I just wanted to get some material for what to say to the guys of how to come in tomorrow's practice. I just want to motivate our guys, just make sure our guys are ready. I take it personally when whether people are mentally ready or not. I feel like it's my job to keep us engaged, keep us locked in.
And so what did it feel like when you saw that shot at the end of that game again?
I didn't feel anything with the game because there's nothing I can do about it. I just feel using that as fuel for tomorrow's practice and the game Saturday.
Got it. Thank you.
Let's go to Sam Conan from SI.
Hey, David, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, thanks. So the past few weeks, obviously, there's been a lot of talk about the UCLA-Arizona rivalry, playing them twice, and now move on to the next stage where you're playing USC twice in a couple weeks. From your perspective, what do you think is the difference between those two rivalries when it comes to basketball, from a player's perspective?
From a player's perspective, I feel like UCLA and USC is a crosstown rivalry. So they're both great basketball programs, Arizona, USC, but USC, UCLA, I feel like this like the better of like, two brothers like going at it, like who's head to head. And UCLA, Arizona is like your best friend rivalry. It's like, like we're trying to we have something to prove, but it's not really crosstown. It's just who's more elite, that day. But crosstown rivalries is like USC is like every sport, even like program academics, like the king of Los Angeles, rather than UCLA and Arizona is it's a little different, but it's the same mentality. It's like when Kobe said, different animal, same beast. It's kind of like that, It's really hard to explain, but it is a little different. But I respect them both, and I frankly enjoy the rivalry. I enjoy that passion for the game. It makes the game really fun.
Nice. And then coach was saying he hopes that this game ends in a buzzer beater in your guys' favor. Well, going back and watching last year's game and knowing what happened in the year before that, how nice would that be if, say, you or any of your teammates was able to kind of return the favor and win this one at the buzzer?
Any win is a win in my book. So it'll be pretty nice if it was a buzzer beater. Hopefully, we'll do everything in our power to not let it come down to that wire. But any win is good for us. Our coach always says all we need is a 1-point blowout for every game. So that if that leads to a 1-point blowout and we come home with a win, I'm fine with that.
All right. Thanks, David.
All right. Thank you.
Hey, Tiger, good morning.
Good morning.
So you guys got crosstown rivalry. You just had a big rivalry game, 2 rivalry games with Arizona. Now you have to shift to USC. How do you take the rivalry with the school that's 15 miles across town? What does it mean to you?
Well, I understand the importance of it and the rivalry and the history behind it, going back and forth. But honestly, just look at it as we got to go across town and get a win on Saturday. We're preparing the same way. We're going to have a good practice today and just get ready to hopefully win on Saturday.
Knowing that you guys haven't beat them since Coach Cronin has been here, are you putting a little bit more into this, or are you taking it just as you do every game? Focusing on the matchups, the scouting. What do you at that point?
Of course, there's fire there. Playing here for 3 years, not beating them yet, but we're just approaching it like every other game. We just got to come out there, play on a good team game, spread the ball, pass it. And just do whatever coach needs us to do to get the win.
Ben Bolch, LA Times, go ahead.
Good morning, Tiger.
Good morning.
Hey, I want to ask you about 2 things on Always Fun social media. I'm sure you've seen the meme about the Arizona game where you're in the timeout huddle. I understand that maybe there was people were misinterpreting that you were saying something about either Kirk Kriisa or Arizona in that moment, and you weren't. Can you tell us what that actually was about?
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, you said they caught me in the huddle.
Well, you were in the huddle saying like, something him, and people were making assumptions that you were talking about Kirk Kriisa or somebody on Arizona. And then Kriisa retweeted it after the last Arizona game and said something like the feeling's mutual. But then I heard from somebody who knows you that you weren't even talking about him. So the whole thing was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even remember what you're talking about, honestly. So I don't know about this social media stuff. Like,
all right,
follow it too much of a big deal. I don't know if he tweeted at me but yeah, it was probably just something heat of the moment within the huddle. Like, I don't really worry about the other team or any other players on the other team, no matter what the team it is. So yeah, it wasn't, if I said something crazy, it wasn't targeted towards anybody or a program. Probably just
Okay.
be getting worked up or something.
And then one other social media thing, in May, I don't know if somebody forwarded this to you, USC's Instagram, official basketball Instagram account put up a little stat thing with you versus Ethan Anderson. It said Tiger versus Lion, and then it had the stats in the 4 games between you and Ethan head to head. Did you see that? Because it seemed to me that it was unusual for a university to kind of target a player like that.
Nah, I didn't. Like I said, I don't really follow any social media banters. I don't know if that's what I would call it. Back and forth on the internet. I don't really believe in that. So I didn't see that. It sounds like a pretty cool graphic. I don't, but
All right.
yeah,
Cool.
I'm not really worried about any graphics or anything on social media. Let's get it done in real life.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Sam Connon from SI.
Hey, Tiger, how's it going?
What's up?
Not much. So, coach said that one day of practice you guys had on Monday between the Arizona State and Stanford games, that you had your best practice as a Bruin. But what can you remember from that practice that you think maybe set it apart? What was different about that practice?
Coach said that?
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I just thought I was shooting the ball well. Honestly, I thought I had other practices like that this year, but it didn't really separate itself as far as like a good practice for me. So, I mean, I was just making shots, I guess, and spreading the ball well and doing what coach needed me to do. So I guess it was a good practice. I'm thankful coach said that.